Right, so we're on part 2 of the canvas today, and we are going to be blending this white in a little bit better. We're going to be adding some embellishments and colouring it up, hopefully getting it finished. Fingers crossed. I've got, very quickly, I've got this stamp out. I'm just wondering whether to add a little bit of script over the very white crackle areas. So let's not wonder. Let's do it. I'm not using a stamp block. We'll just go for the very undone sort of look. It'll hit wherever it goes. So yeah, I quite like that. So it's just not as stark white. I do have another trick up my sleeve to blend it in a little bit more, but let's just, there. Right, I'm liking that. It's not as stark bright white, and that was just using the large script stamp from Vintage Vibes. Right, what else we're going to do? We're going to start with adding our embellishments, and then we will gesso them up. So we need to get them stuck on with gel medium. I've picked up a bit of a selection, got some lace there as well. So all different buttons and pretties, and some frames, some metal flowers, and some studs and pearls, and we've got gritty sparkles as well for finishing off, and cabochons, but I think I will leave those without white gesso. So let's get these stuck on. We'll try and get them to adhere as quickly as possible, and then try and heat set them. Try not to put too much gel medium on, because we want to stick it as quickly as possible. So I'm just going to lift it and see if it's touched at all. Not enough, so I'll have to go with a bit more, because remember we've put dimension under the tissue paper, so we're at all different levels. So if you're doing something like this, it might be handy to have some like bits of cardboard to lift up your embellishments. Frames. We're going to go for 2 frames. I think I'm going to take that one right to the edge. And this already has a little bit of sticky on the back to build it up. So those are our focal points. So we'll pop them on first. Now I've got some gears. Let's just add a little. So I think I've got a little bit of crackle, but look, this crackle has dried beautifully, hasn't it? I'm very, very impressed. We'll get that cog on there. Gear. It's a gear. And the front is a little bit dirty, so I'm going to use the reverse. Doesn't matter, it's just not as rounded. And let's go for you there, and we'll see if we can close that gap. So shall we go that one, or maybe let's take it a little bit further up. I'm just going to start placing things where I think, where shall I go? Ooh, decisions. I think we'll go for there and there. Right, let's put those in there as centres, because those metals are a little bit flat. And then we've got these studs, which I thought were quite cute. Might put you there. We're not going to over embellish because we might use the paper flowers. I'm not too sure yet. And then maybe those there for a bit of balance. Yeah, let's get them stuck.
Oh, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I love you every kind of way, and so it goes at the end of the day. I love you every kind of way.
Right, let's have a go at getting a little bit more of a blend between our white crackle and our tissue paper. And we're almost going to dry brush some areas. And then I might add a little bit of water as well. So I'm just going to very, very gently add some white gesso and just try and feather out some gesso onto these. Now if you prefer, if you're doing your mixed media, you might prefer to gesso your embellishments first. And that one's not very stuck. Yeah, you might prefer to gesso your embellishments first and then stick on and leave. But I thought I would do all of it today. You see my whole process. This is pretty much how I craft when I'm not doing a live. I stick everything on, force it dry because I'm too impatient, and then gesso.
Climb it for the view, and if you call me I will hear it loud. If you need me I will abseil down to you, from the peak right back down to the ground. Oh, I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I love you every kind of way, and so it goes at the end of the day.
Do you know what? I think I'm going to add these now with my gel medium and then add gesso over. So I'm just checking. Yeah, they're still quite hot, so those picture frames are pretty darn stuck. Right, so I'm going to get some gel medium and mix them in with my pearls. That's probably completely the wrong way to do it, because I think I need some more gel medium. Maybe not, maybe not. Right, I have just added the gel medium to the tiny, tiny pearls. I'm just spreading them around with my finger. I'll get a little bit, oh, that one's still a bit wobbly. It'll be fine. Put my stamp over. Right, where else do we want? Let's get some over here. So sometimes I do this as a finishing touch, but because I'm going for a very white look and the pearls are sort of creamy colour, I'm going to add them now. Where else? let's just get a little bit. Right, that is enough. Wipe the hands down the painty pants. We'll get these dried off and a little bit of white gesso added. So you guys might not be able to see where I've added these just at the moment. So I think we'll add some cabochons while we are waiting. Let's just try and get a random spread, and I want to add them so we get they sort of magnify areas. So I'll have 3. Where's this one going to go? Right, so I've got 3. Let's go for that one there, and we'll go for a teeny tiny one for our 5. So we'll get those stuck on while we're waiting for those pearls to curl. I hope they don't curl. Cool down. So a little bit of gel medium, it'll dry clear, and then you'll be able to see. Where did that one come from? Let's just pop it there. You'll be able to see what's underneath, and you'll have a slight magnified effect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So I'll lift this up before we white gesso those pearls, so you can see there's just a slight difference of colour, which I want it all to be white. So again, I'll use a soft brush. And they are sufficiently stuck for me to be able to gesso them. Out. So we've used blue underneath, although the blue hasn't really shown through, and I think I'm going to do some black shadowing, and I do have blue flowers out to add. I want to, I'm going to have to move this over very slightly. Let's check it's, yeah, right, good choice, we'll go with that. Right, I want another soft brush, but more of a pointy end, and we're going to get this lovely mousse, a little bit more liquid, to add our shadowing, and hope that it runs nicely across the canvas. I'll probably add a little bit more water as well, but when it dries we'll get this lovely pearly sort of finish, which is why I was quite happy with the starkness of the white, because I knew I was going to go quite strong with the black. So what I'm going to do is just add a little bit of the black around the edges and then spritz to get it to disperse. So remember, my gel medium is not completely dry, so if you were doing this, wait until it's completely dry, or else you may dilute your gel medium. Right, so now I've got all that, I'm just going to give it a little turn and a twist, just so it can run around the canvas, and hopefully quite organic sort of looking. Right, so let's add where we've got any embellishments. I'll just try and go as quickly as possible. And I think once that is dry, I will take it just a little bit stronger. In fact, I might do it now while it's wet. So I'll just sort of load up my brush and push it down as close to the embellishments as I can, and then the water that's already there is just taking it away. And let's go around here and get all this done. Oh, I'm liking the way it's seeping. All I'm going to do now is just lift the edge of the canvas and run some of the black around, spray it and let it roll on to the canvas. Now this will be a nice area, and it rolls into all, but I'm not going to go in every area. You see, just add a little bit, the way it just sinks into all the crackle. Love it, love it, love it. Now there's no crackle there, but we can still get a nice run of colour. Right, is there any bits I just need to dab away if they look too strong? I can do. If you want to add any more areas, so we'll just very, very gently dab away, and then we will dry with a heat tool so we can move on. Right, so what we're going to do next, when we get this dried off, we're going to add some of the blue mousse, almost like a wax, but I do need this to be as dry as possible so it doesn't dilute the blue. Right, so I'm just going to, first off, I'm going to use the blue just around the edges. Now, if anyone's not seen the mousses before, these are a stencil paste, but you can use them in so many different ways. So this is just going to add a lovely frosty blue, and then we will take it across. Let's get some there. I might use a brush actually for the flowers because I don't want it to be too strong, and if I do want it to be a little bit stronger, I can go on with my finger. I'm going to start with this smaller one. It's not as splayed as I would like. I'm just going to add a little flicker of the blue, just very gently, like dry brushing. Try not to touch too much. So I'm just very, very gently flick over some of the embellishments, not all of them because I do want them to stay pretty white. Let that blue just highlight a few areas. So you can use this like a wax. As I said, it is a stencil paste. You can also water it down like we did for the black pearl, the jet even, and use it like a paint. So I'm just going to add a little bit here and there on the main body of the canvas as well. to highlight a few areas and going as lightly as possible. And it'll just seep into the crackle there. And this is why I wanted the jet to be completely dry, because I didn't want to pull any of it into this really beautiful soft blue. Right, so I need to strengthen any more of these colours. So you can see I've added this and it comes down sort of like a diagonal. And the same with this one. I'm trying to go a little bit, just adding a dash, but mainly the white gesso. And you do only need a little bit. I'll lift this up in a minute before I add any more and let you have a look. And once again, I will apologise for my head being in the way. I'm just thinking I just want to add a little bit more over here, and then it will sort of make the dimension of the die cuts underneath stand out as well. It'll just highlight some of the areas. I'll lift that up because you might not be able to see because the colour is so delicate, but it just gives a beautiful hint. And I may go on afterwards and add some more just to bring that blue a little bit stronger. We'll get these flowers added on and we will add the finishing touches. So what have we got here? And I said to Taz not to cut the stems off because what we can do is, it's probably nothing that you haven't seen before, is you can take the stems and you can wrap them around something that's probably not stiff. You can make these cute little curls. So I think we will pop those ones there and then we'll just have two over here. Right, let's try again. Little wrap. Pull it out and then just pull. So add you there. Is that gel medium still open? And that one there. What do we think, guys? Right, so just gel medium, straight on. I might add a sentiment as well, not right now, but we definitely need to add some splatters, I think, because we've got all this lovely mousse still here. It'd be a shame to use it, but it could also use black gesso as well. So let's pick up, was that the wrong one? Yeah. Probably, maybe not. Add a little bit more water. Yeah, maybe there was some blue in there as well. It's fine. And we'll just add some blue splatters. No, black splatters around. You know what, it's always, where do you stop? how many splatters do you go for? I do. Because this isn't a really in-your-face black, we've watered it down. I think we can go a little bit more crazy. Right, stop. Right, I will add a sentiment off camera, guys. I hope you can see all that. But I'm actually quite liking how soft this blue is. I don't think I'm going to add any more at all. If you fancy seeing anything in particular, send me a message with a suggestion and I'll see if I can do it. Right, thanks guys. Bye.
Bye.